Hello, I'm Devin. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about analog productivity that enhances the work you're probably doing in the digital world. Today, well, hopefully you've watched the other videos on this playlist of how to get getting things done set up in your Everbook. There are 10 bundles that you're going to need to implement the Getting Things Done system properly. I have outlined them in the previous videos, and in this video, I'm going to walk through, I think 7 or 8, I lost count, 7 or 8 practical examples of how all of those bundles work together in concert to create the harmony that is getting things done productivity. And so, without further ado, let's have a look. So here are all of the bundles collected together. The one note is this is titled Logbook. It's really the inbox. We will be using it, but just FYI for anyone who needs to know. So something that's important to know is we're going to walk through a capture and then a clarifying and organizing session. When you do this, you will want to set aside time. If this is the first time doing it, you'll need at least probably 4 hours. I'm not even joking. There's probably 4 hours worth of stuff on your mind that will need to go into the system. At least 4 hours. It took me 2 days when I first did this. And once you finally get it all in here, then maintenance work is going to go a lot faster. Anyway, so set aside time. Block out everything else. Really, this is going to be somewhat of a meditative or contemplative, even a restorative practice. You don't even know how stressed out you are because of how many things are on your mind. Your mind is working way overtime to try to organize it all, and it is going to be such a relief to get it into the system, not have to think about it anymore. It's going to be great, I promise. But we got to begin somewhere, and we begin with capturing. And to do our capturing in this system, we really just need 2 bundles. Blank pages, and our inbox, which used to be my logbook, but we're using it as the inbox. There are 2 ways to do capturing. If you listen to David Allen, when he's working with his clients, he recommends 1 sheet of paper for each thing. He calls it stuff. Each thing of your stuff gets 1 piece of paper. I didn't do it that way when I did it. What I did was I pulled out just a clean piece of paper and started doing my list. And so for the purposes of this demonstration, that's what we're going to do. However, I have found it incredibly useful to take some sheets of paper. You take a half sheet like this and tear it into 4, and then you get sheets like this. These are great for when you do have just one item things. You just want to jot it down. Then you can put it in your Everbook inbox, or if you have a physical one on your desk. I use these around the house. So I've got a big house, I've got kids, I got stuff, and sometimes I will just put this pile in my pocket, and I'll go walking around with a pen, and I will come across something that I need to deal with. I'll write it on the piece of paper, put it in my pocket, and then when I sit back down at my desk, I will take all of those out of my pocket, dump them in my inbox, ready to be processed when I'm ready to process them, which is what we're going to demonstrate now. Okay, so I would recommend when you do this for real, look up one of the guided mind sweeps on YouTube. There's a bunch of them. They're all super helpful, and just be very patient with yourself to get it all out. For example, when I first did this, I had 4 pages, front and back, of just stuff. I had no idea that was all in my mind until I started to just one by one, as things came to mind, put it all down. So here we go. We're sitting here and we're thinking, what do we need to do? First thing that comes to mind is I need to see if we received that invoice from that partner of ours at work. And so that's a question. Got to figure that out. Next thing is, I need to order new boxing gloves. So I write that down. Right, moving right along. What else is on my mind? Oh, I need to RSVP to that party that's coming up. Now, no, we're not doing anything with this right now. We're just getting it off of our mind onto paper. And remember, this is step 1. This is like step 0. Let's keep going. Next, oh, I have that bill. I have that bill from that doctor. I gotta pay. I need to pay that. Next is we gotta pick a park to take the family to next weekend. So pick a park for the family outing. Okay, that's good. What's next? The van needs an oil change, I think. I don't know if it does for sure because I'm here in my office. The van is in the garage, but it's on my mind. Got to check out. Got to figure that out. What else we got? Oh man, I need to put some grass seed down in the backyard. It's just a mess back there. We got a bunch of dead patches, and I gotta figure that out. And finally, oh yeah. There was that. I passed by my boss at work, and he mentioned that he wanted at our next stand-up, he said, hey, can you give me some data on our competitors? So I'm going to have to figure that out. Competitors analysis for stand-up. Okay. We're going to stop here for this demonstration. But if you were doing this for real, you just keep going until you ran out of things. And when you ran out of things, maybe you get up from your desk and start walking around and explore your physical spaces. All kinds of stuff. Excuse me. Now, what you do from here, there's 2 approaches. If you were using an individual piece of paper for these, you would have made a pile of papers. And the order that you go through these to deal with them does not matter, as long as you deal with all of them. As long as you get all the way to the bottom, it doesn't matter. So if you made a pile of paper, right, your last thing you entered will be on top. And then just deal with the last thing first and just work your way back through all the stuff. In our case, since I did it on a single piece of paper as a list, I'm just going to start with the top one because then I won't get lost. So, received invoice. I go, this, I need to figure this out. I actually need to send a message to my boss. And so in this case, I'm going to apply the 2-minute rule. David Allen says, if you've got something here and it will take you less than 2 minutes to accomplish it, just do it right now. It will probably take you more than 2 minutes on that thing to run it through the getting things done system. So if you can take this step right now, just take it if it takes you less than 2 minutes. So what am I going to do? I'm going to pull out my phone, which I'm using to record this video, so I can't pull it out in front of you. But I'm going to send a text to my boss and it says, hey, have we received the invoice yet? Then I'm going to pull up my next actions. So I pull out my next actions, and I'm going to open it up, and I have my waiting for list. And I'm going to say, I am waiting to hear back from my boss about invoice received yet. And I sent that message to him on April 2nd, which is when I am recording this. So, okay, that's there. Boom. Close that. All right, this has been put where it belongs. Next is up. Order boxing gloves. Yeah, I got to do that. I know which ones I want too. I just got to hop on Amazon and order them. And so I'm again going to just pull up, for this one, I'm just pulling up my next actions. I'm going to find my appropriate list, which I'm going to say is home. I'm going to say order boxing gloves on Amazon. I can do that anytime. I could do that right now. I'm not going to do it right now because I'm clarifying right now. But there it is. It's ready for me. When I'm ready to work on my personal stuff, it's on my list, and I'll be reminded to take care of it. All right. Now we pack up our next actions, and we move on to the next one. Let me get this guy out of here. RSVP to the party. All right. Let's see. That party is coming up on April 20th. If I recall, I needed to be RSVP'd by the 7th. I'm going to have to fill out some information for that, so I can't just do it right now. So let's put it on the list. Let's go back to home again. And so I'm going to say RSVP to party. And I need to do that. What did I say? I don't know. But I have to do it by April 10th. Great. Now, next time I look at this list, I've got all my things, but I'll remember, hey, this one's got to be done soon. So maybe we do that one first. All right, cool. Cross off RSVP to party. Pay doctor bill. Now, I remember that doctor bill. It says I don't actually have to pay it until May 30th. But personally, I'd love it if I paid that in May, because then I could put it on my personal budget for May. So what I'm going to do is this one, I'm going to pull up my calendar, and we're going to have to pretend a little bit because this says April, but I'm going to find the one that says May 1st, and under my tasks column for that day, I'm going to put on here, pay, doctor bill. Great. So what will happen now, I'm going to review, I look at this every day. When I get to that particular day, I'm going to say, today is the day. I need to hop on and pay that bill. And then I know the transaction and my personal budget and blah, blah, blah. It'll all look great, but I have to do it on this day. I cannot do it sooner. Oops. I cannot do it sooner, and it will be a bit of a problem if I wait too long. So this day, we're going to get that done. All right, it's in my calendar waiting for me. And now I can cross that off of my capture list. Ooh, pick a park for the family outing. I have a couple parks in mind, but it's probably not going to fly if I just pick it solo. So what I need to do is I need to talk to my wife about this one and see of the 3 parks I have in mind if she has any preference. So what I'm going to do is find my agendas. And I'm going to find, all right, let's see, I've got it here and here. Oh, here we go. This is the page stuff that I need to talk to my wife about. I'm going to say park for this weekend. And for this weekend, we should really make this decision by Thursday. So I'm going to put, what is that, April 3rd on here, just to make sure we talk about that. Okay, good. Now, next time I'm talking with my wife, I'm going to pull out the sheet of paper. I'm going to see that on there, and I'll remember we got to make that decision. Okay, that's handled. It's waiting for me. Van oil change. I do need to change the van. The thing is, there's a few steps involved here. I'm not going to change it myself. I'm going to take it to a mechanic. So if I do that, I'm going to have to schedule that appointment. And okay, it's pretty clear. Van oil change. This is not a task. This is a project. This is a project. There are a few steps here. So we're going to go to our projects folder. And we're going to find home. All right, here we go. Van oil change. Okay, we got to do this. Now, I'll think about this. This is a spot. I review this at least once a week, and I will be reminded if there's anything left or next to do on van oil change. You might also write this as a active verb of like change van oil or something, just so it's like, have I changed the van oil? You can word this however you want. But regardless, I got to do this. Now what? Well, I'm going to think, I'm not ready to schedule an appointment because I actually don't know if we've crossed the mileage threshold so that it makes sense to do an oil change. So what am I going to do? I know. I just need to go check the mileage. So this is a home project again. So home, check, mileage on van for oil change. There, simple enough. I know what that means. Right, when I'm done with work, I pull out this list, I review it, I go, ah, yeah, I'm gonna hop out to the garage and check that really fast. Great, all right. Those things are where they belong. I can close those up. Cross it off my capture list. Okay. The backyard, over the past few years, we've gotten quite a few patches. Grass has died. Maybe kids are running around on it. Maybe some toys been left out too long and smushed and killed off some patches of grass. Whatever. It's also pretty shady back there, so we got to fix the patches of dirt now where grass used to be. First thing is, this is definitely a project. This is 100% a project. And again, we're going to home. I'm going to say reseed backyard. Okay, it's in here. It's a project. But I'm thinking about it. What's the next step? What's the next step? Oh, man. Man, the next step is... Well, there's a bunch of steps I could take. The thing is, it's getting really complicated really fast. I think my next step is, if I go here, I need to look up seed options for backyard. I don't know where to begin. I got to do a little research. So that's my next step for that project. But when I do that research, I need to record what I learn. So actually what I'm going to do is, in my blank pages, I'm going to pull out, I'm actually going to start a project folder for this. So on the front, I'm going to use orange, whoops, because I love using orange for my titles. I'm going to write reseed backyard. Boom. And then inside of this, now this is going to become my list of seed options. So as I do my research, I can come in here and I can say, all right, seed 1, notes, and the price, seed 2, notes, price. I don't know if I'll do it all at once or over time, but this is my place where I'm going to be recording this information that I'll use then for following subsequent steps and next steps, etc. And now, okay, I've got this folder made. We're going to park it in project support. It will be there waiting for me when I'm ready to work on that next part of that project. Okay, great, great, great. Let's get back into our capture. That has been handled. It's in our system. Next, competitors analytics for stand-up. Competitors analytics for stand-up. Okay. What do I need to do? Well, I think there's really just 2 things I got it. I know what to do. I just got to sit down and do it. So I can go ahead and put that in as a next action for work. It's not a multi-step. It's going to be this is a single step. I have the data. I just got to pull it together. And so I'm going to look for my work list, which is, where is it? Here we go. Here's my work list. Competitors analytics. So, all right, pull competitors analytics. And then I need to put it in my stand-up notes. And I need to do that. The stand-up is on Monday, so I really have to get this done by Friday. So April 4th, that's a Friday. Okay, great. Moving forward, though, I need to do this every week. Okay, I need to then pull out my reference. And I'm going to park. I've got my weekly stand-up, and I'm just going to add it here so that every week when I do this, I remember to pull competitor analytics. There we go. And then that will be remembered week after week after week. I have my note to, oops, I have my note right here to get it done more immediately, upcoming. And then now I can cross off my last dealio. Okay, so that's capturing, clarifying, and organizing. You'll hear David Allen speak to that as defining your work. Now from there, if you feel like you can work pretty intuitively, then just when you are ready in whatever context, you can pull up the appropriate list and just pick the thing to do next. I will often use that list, and so for example, at the beginning of my workday, pull up my list, and when I decide what's really essential to get done today, I'll park spots on my calendar just to make sure I'm using my time throughout the day wisely, especially as I get pulled from different things. But you just keep going, and you keep using it, and you keep capturing as things come to mind. You let them pile up in that inbox, and then when you do this daily, you at least do it weekly, work through all the stuff, just like we worked through that little list, put everything where it belongs, and then you just use the system as it goes. And that's where your Everbook becomes this secret productivity powerhouse, where to the outside world, it doesn't really look like you're doing anything remarkable. It's like this guy has this funny little notebook, and his email inboxes are always empty. He never seems to forget anything. When he says he's going to get something done, he gets it done. It's really cool, but it takes consistency. It takes time. And that little example, that happens at least once a day and in little moments throughout the day. Getting it out of your brain, into your system, and then you can maintain momentum and focus and really flow. It's been the most remarkable thing for me, is using getting things done has allowed me to find flow within my knowledge work. It's a really cool experience. I hope you get there. I hope this content has been useful.